yeah, so the captures will pop up there. That will open by itself, so you don't need to hit the capture button. We added an invisible capture now, so the captures won't even show. It won't show anything unless you have to solve it, which hopefully you don't have to. So yeah, to log into Google, you just go here, hit the Google login button, and you want to log in. If you're not logged in, then it'll show the login screen. If you are, it'll just show your Google home page. So yeah, that's basically it for setup wise. Um, you want to run, like, if you're going for the same product on more than one task, you want to run different profiles for sure because orders will get duplicate responses and there could be canceled this season. There wasn't a lot last season, but it's always a possibility.
Yeah, week whether or not they enforce it hard or not. I mean, I got multiples with the same card, same profile, and everything, but then some weeks it's like week. So just like make sure you each week just.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Cutting out pretty bad for Shane, but yeah, don't use proxies unless there's no reason for you to use proxies tomorrow. We'll see tomorrow if Supreme did anything to make it so that you can't run a lot of requests from the same IP. If they do, we can use proxies week 2. So just ignore the proxy fields. There's no reason to use that. Multiple keywords. You don't need to worry about that. You're just gonna take whatever we post later today in this tab, whatever we post here. You're gonna take those keywords. We don't usually use multiples unless we absolutely have to because there's different categories, so using multiples doesn't really do much. Um, but just copy and paste what we have. Our keywords are usually always almost right, and especially for US, they're always going to be right. We update the colors and keywords after the EU drop if there are changes and stuff like that. So just use what we provide. Don't try and like make your own keywords or anything. And no, you don't use a plus or minus for Supreme. You just use the keyword that we post. The plus is only for Shopify and stuff like that. So for Supreme, you don't need to use them. The recommended mode is Supreme 2, like I was telling you earlier. Supreme 2 or Supreme Mobile 2 is the initial drop, so that's what we use for drop time. For restocks and stuff like that, you can use desktop. Sometimes restocks happen on desktop that don't happen on mobile. So that's why we still have those other. But for the initial drop, you always want to use Supreme Mobile 2.
And then I don't know if I'm gonna cut out again, but I'm just like reading the comments and stuff. Yes, use mobile too, even on your iPad. How many tasks per item should we run? I'd probably run like 3 to 4 tasks per item. I mean, what do you think, Mitchell?
Depending on how many profiles you have, I mean, I'd always run multiple for the same item with the same profile. So, like, if you're running for, like, especially if it's the most hyped item, um, just run like 2 with the same profile just in case one gets denied. Use different delays. So, like, run one with 3,500 and then maybe run one with 3,000, stuff like that. Um,
I mean, for the iPhone 6 user, I mean, I had an iPhone 6 like last year at some point. I mean, you'll be fine. I mean, yeah, like newer phones do have better performance, but it'll still be fine.
yeah, so right at whatever, like 10:59, 30 seconds or 45 seconds, like just start 15 to 30 seconds before your drop time, whatever time zone you're in. So for me, I'd start at exactly what you said, 10:59 with in 30 seconds or around that time, and then just let it go. It'll find the products with the keywords you enter. You'll see the product name pick up right where it says headband. It'll show the full product name from Supreme. So that's like when you know, and then the bar will move to cart and then checkout, and then the captions will show, and then the response will show either success, denied, stuff like that. Wi-Fi or LTE, that just depends what your Wi-Fi speeds are like. Sometimes LTE is faster for some people. It really shouldn't matter much, but it's just whatever. Yeah, I usually run on LTE, but it really doesn't matter too much.
And
Privacy, you can only use that if you have the special Supreme cards. Otherwise, privacy will not work.
for Kyle, uh, your computer. And then for the person asking about how they're only going for one product tomorrow, don't have money for like multiple checkouts. Uh, I mean, I'm not sure how your bank works, but yeah, I mean, if you run multiple tasks, there's a chance that yeah, you will get multiple of the gold Timex tomorrow. But I mean, if your bank will just not, if your bank might just decline the charge, so I mean, it's really up to you whether or not you want to run multiple or not.
Um, does the captcha do it by itself? Yeah. So like I was saying earlier, the captcha window will open. If you have one clicks, you won't have to do anything. It'll filter through however many captchas you need, auto click them, and everything like that. If it's requiring your like user to solve the captcha, then you have to solve it and submit it. That's just how it's gonna work. Costa, don't use proxies unless you absolutely need to because you're in a different country or something like that. Does it automatically check out like can I start my task then put my phone in pocket? Yeah. So if you start your task say 30 seconds early, don't lock your phone. You can just drop it back in your pocket with your screen on. Make sure your screen doesn't go off or it could cause problems. But as long as you have one clicks, the task will run and or auto click the one click or captchas and everything like that. So technically, you could do that. I'm not saying that's a recommended idea, because in case you need to solve a captcha or something, you need to be able to see. Yeah, if you get success on the app, it's automatically gonna buy it. Since we run requests and plug, there's no browser, nothing like that. It's just like a normal bot. If it checks out, then you'll get order confirmation plus charge email, like things like that. So yeah, you won't have to do anything other than solve captchas. Task without proxy, like I said earlier, Supreme usually doesn't rate limit for IPs. They did for the BOGO drop last season, but that was the only time they did. Um, so tasks without proxies, you can most likely run really as many as you want. But if they do start monitoring IPs and things like that, then there will be issues. But I'm not expecting that to happen. So just run what you need. All right, hold up. Yeah, so I forgot to record the stream from the start, but I recorded it like a couple minutes in. So we're gonna upload this to YouTube. Um, and then people will be able to watch it. If they're not here right now, you can go back and see stuff. So I'm just gonna run through the setup one more time so we can have it recorded and upload it. So like I said, just open up plug, go to the drop list. Say I want this waste bag, copy and paste the keyword. Um, go back here, paste it in. Make sure there's no extra spaces. Categories, accessories, color. If I wanted to run for black, then I can just input the color here. Random color. If you want to just go for any random color that's in stock, just toggle on that little switch. It'll ignore whatever or whatever color you put in. Size. You can either choose your sizes or select random. Like I said, it'll just pick a random size that's in stock. Profile. Just select your profile. Proxies, leave those blank. Delay, like in the guide, we recommend 2500 in between there and 3500. 3500 is the sweet spot, so always run at least a couple tasks with that delay, as that's the highest success for delays that we usually have for users running plug. So yeah, keep at least a couple around there. Schedule, don't touch that. It'll just cause issues. And then capture bypass. Run a couple with it on, like 2 on, since it's been working the past couple weeks in the last season. But always make sure to run a few without capture bypass on in case bypass doesn't queue for success, then you'll absolutely cook nothing. So you want to make sure to run at least a couple with capture on. And then this little thing, I didn't cover that earlier, but this is just how many tasks you want to add. So if you wanted to add 5 of the same task, you can just do that. And then once I press add, it'll add those. So yeah, that's basic setup. Yeah, so EU due to the laws they had to implement 3D secure. I'm not sure how that's going to go tomorrow, as they were working on it the last couple weeks of last season, but never actually implemented anything live on drops, so nothing really happened differently. So tomorrow is going to be like the first test for that. See what happens. See what changes we need to make for EU. Um, if something happens, I'm not sure really what's going to happen, but we'll see tomorrow.
Yes, make sure you are in app. Don't try going manual at the same time on your phone as you're using plugged.
Yeah. So you say I don't need proxies, but what if I run 10 tasks on each of my two bots, plugged and adept? Um, yeah, you should be fine. That's 20 tasks. I don't think you'll have any issues. I've ran 20 tasks just unplugged before. I've never had issues with proxies in Supreme. So you should be able to do that perfectly fine. Um,
And I mean, the app really won't crash or start lagging if you're running a lot of tasks. I mean, if you want to write like how many tasks, like is this okay? Like we can let you know. But I mean, back when capture bypass was working all the time, and that's the only thing we would recommend. I mean, people are running like 50, 100 tasks, and we're having no issues.
with captures now though, that can be a little different. So I'd recommend probably like I don't think you need to run any more than 20 for tomorrow. I would just play it safe with like 10, 15, 20 just to see um what your phone can handle because it's going to be different and things like that. Yeah, each task is a separate cart. Um you're you asked how do I make tasks duplicate so it won't buy items for both tasks? If you're using the same profile for both tasks for the same item, you're most likely going to get a duplicate response from Supreme, so you're not going to get it on both tasks. And if you do, um, they usually don't cancel orders that often. Like I've never had a Supreme order canceled. I've got multiples a lot of weeks on the same information. So it really just depends on if you get hit with duplicate response from them or you just get through on both.
For the can I run one task with one profile, or can I run a task for a T and a watch with the same profile? Yeah, you can use the same profile to check out different items. Yes, be an app.
25
If you
I
want to use proxies, go ahead. Just we recommend using IP auth proxies instead of user pass, just because it gets a little weird and like a little more complicated using user pass proxies on an iPhone.
My bot crashed yesterday when I was running 3 tasks. Okay, that's for Shopify. Um, you don't need to worry about that for Supreme. Shopify is still we're working on a lot of bugs with it. Supreme's basically like stable all the time. It has been for the past 4 seasons or so. Hmm. Yeah, so I mean, obviously it's gonna run faster, smoother on a newer phone, just because newer phones have better processors and they're faster and things like that. But it's not gonna make too big of a difference for Supreme if you're running on like, obviously if you're running on like a 5C or something like that, it's gonna make an issue. But like an iPhone 8 will be perfectly fine.
No, for the question, can I run two devices on same? I don't know if you meant IP. It says if I log out on one. I mean, you can only be logged in and plugged on one device at a time, so I'm not exactly sure what you mean.
iPhone 6s, yeah, I mean yeah. Either way, your device isn't gonna make too big of a difference if you're just running like personal tasks to resell things like that. It's not going to be a problem. So you don't need to worry about your device. 6 Plus, 6, all of those devices will work. Um, so that's not something that you need to worry about. Uh, Keywords will be posted later today. We're going to finish them up after this stream and then get those updated in the guide. And they'll show up in the drop list tab as well. Um, on an iPad, it's exactly the same as on the iPhone or anything like that. It's always going to be the same. For restocks, 2500, 3500 delay with Supreme Desktop. Yeah, we'll see tomorrow for restocks. Sometimes delays aren't needed, sometimes they are, depending if Pookie's on. Still, sometimes they leave it on longer than other drops. So I mean, we'll see tomorrow. Let you know about restocks, things like that. But I would just leave delays the same for restocks right after the drop. Restocks are exactly the same as the initial drop. So after the drop, say this product sells out. If you just restart the test, it's automatically going to monitor for a restock. If stock gets loaded, it'll go through the checkout process. So you don't have to toggle on like a restock mode or anything like that. It's automatically going to do the same thing. Supreme Mobile 2, yes. Supreme Mobile 2 is the correct mode. Sweet spot for delay is 3500, yeah. That's just where we've seen the most success out of users, things like that. So I'd always at least run a few tests for that delay if you want to cook 100%. Same item, yeah. So if you're running for the same item on multiple tasks, like, and you're expecting to cook more than one item, you definitely want to have different profile information. So different email, different card. Jig up your address a little, add an apartment number if it's a house, add 4 letters before your address, things like that. That
I
usually
mean,
works.
yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, I mean, obviously, the more you can change up, like in your profile, the better. I mean, always try to change up.
Same IP on different devices. Yeah, it's not going to be a problem. Like Supreme hasn't been monitoring for like rate limiting IPs in a while. So I wouldn't really worry about that. Like I wouldn't worry about running 2 different bots on the same internet. It shouldn't be an issue. 2 tasks to 1 product ratio, like that's fine. Like that's definitely if you have the time to set up more tasks, like there's no problem with running that. Run 2 tasks for the same product with different delays on it. So if one lower delay cooks for you, then the other one you have a better chance of cooking stuff like that. All right, probably gonna wrap this up soon. We got a lot of stuff to finish up before the drop tomorrow. We want to get the keywords out to you. You can always go check out our support center. I'll post it in the chat a couple times before you guys spam with tickets for us to answer. So you can just check out support.plug.io, search for whatever you need. You can also open tickets on there if you don't want to open one in Discord. Um, you can also do it in Discord. Yeah, Cam has been helping out a lot in the chat, so um, if you have any questions, I'm sure he'll help you out as well. But yeah, so if the question answer to your question isn't on our support page or you can't find it in chat or no one else is helping you out, just open a ticket in Discord or on our support website. Um, yeah, so gonna be working the rest of the day most likely, helping you guys out, get ready for tomorrow. Pretty simple setup as you can see. Not much goes into it. Just get once we post the keywords, just take those, put them in your bot, choose size, color, everything like that, and you'll be good to go. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. I'll get this uploaded to YouTube probably in the next 30 minutes or so. So if people want to go back and look at a certain thing, how to set up tasks, stuff like that, go for it.
Yeah, thanks guys for listening, and it's gonna be an exciting season. Hopefully tomorrow we start off.
All right, boys. Peace out. Thanks for tuning in. We'll get back to support everything like that now. Get keywords out to you. All right, let's cook tomorrow, boys.